Ravi had always been a free spirit, the kind of person who believed life was too short to be anything but happy. He was the life of every gathering, the one who made everyone laugh, even in the darkest of times. But life has a strange way of testing even the strongest spirits. In his early 20s, Ravi met Meera, a quiet and reserved young woman, who seemed like the opposite of him in every possible way. While Ravi loved loud laughter and crazy adventures, Meera found peace in books and soft music. But there was something magnetic between them, something neither could quite understand. Over time, their friendship blossomed into love. They balanced each other. He taught her to laugh out loud, and she showed him the beauty of silence. Years passed, and they built a small, happy life together. Ravi found a job in a local advertising firm, while Meera pursued her dream of becoming a teacher. Their life wasn't luxurious, but it was filled with love, laughter, and warmth. But as they say, happiness is fragile. One rainy afternoon, after Meera returned from her school, she noticed Ravi looking unusually tired. He brushed it off, saying it was just a hectic day, but the fatigue continued, and soon it became clear it wasn't just work stress. A visit to the doctor confirmed there were fears. Ravi was diagnosed with a rare heart condition. The doctor explained that Ravi needed a complex and costly surgery. Even then, survival was uncertain. Despite that diagnosis, Ravi kept up his cheerful spirit. He laughed, joked, and comforted Meera, saying he would make it through, that they'd laugh about this one day too. Meera, however, couldn't shake the fear that lingered in her heart. Every time she looked at him, she saw the shadow of what could come. They spent their remaining days cherishing every moment. Meera would read him at night, and Ravi would playfully demand his favorite dishes, even though he barely had the strength to eat them. Their love grew stronger, even as Ravi's health declined. One evening, as Ravi lay on the bed, weak but smiling, he handed Meera a small notebook. "Promise me you'll read this only when I'm gone," he said, his voice barely a whisper. Meera's eyes filled with tears, but she nodded. She couldn't bear to think of a life without him, but she knew the time was near. A few days later, Ravi passed away peacefully, holding her hand. In the days that followed, Meera felt as if the world had turned gray. Everything reminded her of him. The laughter of children, the sound of rain, the books they read together, everything seemed empty without Ravi. One evening, she remembered the notebook he had given her. With trembling hands, she opened it, unsure if she was ready to face whatever words he had left for her. Inside, there were letters he had written in his last days, each one addressed to her, each one filled with memories, love, and his characteristic humor. As she read through his words, Meera felt as if he was right there with her. He had written about their first meeting, how nervous he'd been, and how he fell in love with her laugh. He recounted their little adventures, the day they got caught in the rain, the nights they stayed up talking about life. Each letter was a piece of his heart, a piece of their love story. In the final letter, he had written, "My dear Meera, if you're reading this, it means I've left this world, but I hope a part of me will always stay with you. Don't be sad, my love. Remember that we laughed, loved, and lived more in these years than some do in a lifetime. I want you to keep living, to keep smiling, that beautiful smile I fell in love with. Life will be tough, I know, but promise me you won't let grief steal your joy. I'll be watching over you, in the rain, in the wind, and in every little moment we once shared. Remember, this isn't goodbye. It's just a see you later." Years. Ravi, tears streamed down Meera's face as she read his words. She clutched the notebook to her chest, feeling as though Ravi was holding her, comforting her. His words became her solace, a reminder that love doesn't end with death. In the years that followed, Meera found strength in his letters. She became the kind of person Ravi had been, bringing laughter and light to those around her. She carried his memory in her heart, his laughter in her soul, and his words became her strength.